Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This will be my first general manager's report, so I've got a slideshow to present to you, and I welcome any questions that anyone might have. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Not moving. Okay, first technical glitch is out of the way. So on January 30th, I assumed the position. On 31st, I walked through the compound to take a look at the state of how things were. So these next photographs are based on what I took as I was going through the compound, show you what I've been doing. So next slide. One of the first things that I found was fire extinguishers that were missing and discharged throughout the compound. I can say that we have undertaken to replace all of those, which has been accomplished. So the fire extinguishers are charged and in place now. Next slide. One of the things I noticed is our basketball court. If you see there, that photograph, that is the concrete coming through the finish. As I understand it, that basketball court's refinishing is less than 1 year old. I looked through the documentation. We have a 1-year warranty by the vendor. I'm in contact with him. We're negotiating on trying to get that refinished. So we're still talking about when and how it's going to happen, but that is in process. Next slide. One of the things that I found were light poles that are owned by the village. These are not the AEP light poles. When I got here on January 30th, the weekend just prior to that, a light pole was felled by the wind in the Walmart parking lot, crushed a car. So I understand that this was a project that was in process, but there's a picture of one of our light poles that needs some tender loving care. I understand also that at Pirates Landing, some years back, a light pole fell due to wind and actually killed a child there. So this is an issue that I'm going to be taking on to take a look at and see what we can do to get these repaired. Next slide. This was an electrical box that I found. It was out on the back of the pro shop, which I understand is a relatively new building. When I opened that box, the entire bottom fell out due to rust. Fortunately, none of the rust fell across any of the live wires. So I've made a point to go through and start identifying these boxes. Next slide. That's the same area. We've replaced that box and brought it up to good standards. So safety and security is certainly a strong point of mine. So I'm going through the compound trying to get things back into a safe operating condition. Next slide. So, not quite related to safety and security, but still related to the amenities that we have. The golf course has had some problems. Hole number 5, the green was under repair for a long time. That green is now open. What you're looking at is the January 31st picture of fairway number 6. Fairway number 6 continues to be under repair, and we're making headway on that. To that degree, also, if you have not been made aware, Marco, who's been with this village for 30 years or so, was recently promoted to greenskeeper. So he is the greenskeeper now, and I think is doing a great job of bringing the course back to good condition. Thank you. Next slide. So since January the 30th, I made a list of some of the things that have been going on. I can run through those really quick. We've got the new signs going up in various places, including Jaws and the boat ramp. Fire extinguishers, I mentioned. The dog park, which has been a sore point, I guess, for a while. When I got here, had some trouble with the contractor. I removed him as the contractor. We took the project on in-house. This past week, we have got 6 of the posts set. There are about 80 posts to be set. My target date for completion is March the 30th, and I hope to have grass and have it open and ready for pets by mid-April. So I think we're making good headway on that. Thank you. I've been in touch with the county extension agents regarding turf management, especially for the golf course, and with the folks that I have spoken with, we're doing everything right at this point. They don't see any reason that they need to come out for a site visit, but I am staying in touch with them for their expertise from Texas A&M. Met with the water district on the infrastructure project. Met with the water district also regarding our water usage and billing rates. I was trying to get a reduction of billing rates. I was not successful, but I think that I made some inroads in knowing who to speak to and who to go to there for various things at Laguna Madre Water District. We replaced the First Choice Landscaping as the mowing company with JR Landscaping. They just took over the contract on March the 1st. I've had good reports so far, but if anyone has any problems, I welcome you to contact me and let me know. I expect our contractors to adhere to their contracts and do a good job for us and provide us with the value that we're paying for. I'm sorry, I saw, are you waving at me or? Okay. I was hoping to find some grant information on the swing bridge. I gave that to the general manager of the swing bridge. Unfortunately, I heard on Friday from the Texas Department of Transportation that because it's a private bridge, it's not eligible for the federal grant that I had found. So I will continue to look to see if there are any grant opportunities that will help us at the village as well. Within the activities building, we've repaired and replaced various pieces of equipment, which includes ceiling fans, thanks to a recommendation from the Winter D&E chairman. Flora, are you here?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for that recommendation.
And thank you for them.
Thank you for the assistance on purchasing the fans as well.
Welcome.
Swimming pool lift chair has been installed. I've actually had the installer come out and look at it under warranty. It looked like there was some corrosion that was beginning on it. Fortunately, it was not. It looked like it was just some dirt specks that had gotten on it. But I am in contact with the installer, make sure that we have good value from that. And let's see, is Brenda, are you here? Wave at me. Thank you for helping me see that project through as well. I've been in conference with our attorney on various legal matters that I kind of walked in, like walking in on the middle of the movie, but I think that we have those well in hand at this point and certainly competently handled with our attorney. I reorganized the staffing of the employees here to consolidate functions and define reporting and responsibilities. We'll see that a little bit later. Golf course, I actually walked through it first, but I had the fortune to play it last Saturday in the cancer tournament, and luckily they assigned me to a strong team. They carried me for 17 holes. Light poles, you saw my picture on that. I've been attending committee meetings. If you have a committee that I have not attended, please send me an email and invite me, and I'll do my best to make it to those committees. I want to be able to work hand in hand with committees and know who the folks are. I inspected the restaurant kitchen the first week that I was here, and I'll be honest, I did not expect very much out of that. I thought I was going to find not the best operation, and I was very pleasantly surprised. The restaurant was extremely clean behind the scenes. I went through the walk-in, I went through the freezers, I opened up those, I looked for labels, I looked for, frankly, anything that I could find. And I have to say, this restaurant looks like a pretty top-notch operation, so I was very pleased. I've met all of the employees. I've provided employees with a set of expectations that I had written and prepared so they all know what my philosophy is, my management style, and what I expect. And I have to say, that they have made walking into this job very easy, very pleasant. So the employees that I have, they are top-notch. They held the things together between general managers for you. They are a super group. So thank you. On behalf of them, they thank you as well. Went over the 2023 budget for compliance. I monitor the budget very closely. I want to make sure that we are getting the best value for the money that is spent when it comes to budgeting. And I also want to make sure that we don't ever go into the red. So as the budget is approved, I monitor that. I speak with my finance manager daily regarding budget and look at the monthly reports to make sure that we're in good shape. So far, everything looks great. And then make safety and security a priority, especially for work orders. That goes back to things like the fire extinguishers, like those junction boxes. Next slide. Golf course continues to improve. I already spoke about that. The parking lot in front of the facilities building, it's right out there. We poured reinforced concrete to get rid of that big bare spot that was there. We're in the process of making it black, and we'll get it painted, so that's going to be done and out of the way. I started working on the emergency plans, which includes plans for things like hurricanes, fires, medical emergencies. So we'll have some plans for that. And goes with number 25. I met with the Port Isabel Assistant Fire Chief and the Fire Marshal in order to do some coordinating for emergency planning. So I've still got to finish those up, but we're going to have a set so that people will know what to do in case an emergency occurs. Knock on wood, we'll never have one, right? I've tried to address any issues that are brought to me by residents. Those of you that have been unfortunate or fortunate enough to come up and talk with me, I hope that you find me approachable. I tell everyone I want to hear from you. If you're mad at me, I want to hear from you. If you're pleased with what I've done, I want to hear from you. I want to emphasize that me and my staff serve you as the owners and residents here. Our job is to make things good. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to break rules, but we're going to listen to everything that people bring to us, and we're going to try to do the best job that we can, make this an even better place for everybody that's here. Let's see. Looked at contracts for warranty repairs is available and is needed. I monitor the contracts that we have. At this point, I'm considering myself the contracting officer. I have technical representatives from facilities or from administration as we need. And anything that's going on with contracts, for instance, the mowing contract, if there's something that goes on that you're not happy with, I want you to contact me so that I can get it addressed. And, again, I'm happy to talk to anybody about any subject, whether you're mad at me or whether you're happy with me. So please feel free to always contact me. Let's start an inventory and assessment of equipment on hand. If you've ever had the chance to go through our maintenance yard that's back here, it's going to get to where it looks a lot better. We've got equipment that has not been well maintained. If it's junk, we're going to get rid of it. If it's not junk, we're going to take care of it. So that's one of the big targets that I have on my agenda. And I provide support to the board. If a board member's got a question, I try to answer it. And if they just want to talk to me about what their vision is for the place, I try to make that happen as well. So that's not so quick rundown of what I've been doing for the past month since I've been here. Next slide. This one's kind of blurry and hard to see, but that's the reorganization. If you see, I've got 3 main managers, an administrative manager, which is Bianca. I think most of you all know her. She takes care of the activities in housekeeping, pro shop, as well as the front desk, the gate, and she monitors our security contract. I have a finance manager, that's Barbara. She takes care of the Spectrum and IT contract, and she has an accounting assistant, Mary Ellen. I take care of the restaurant contract. We have a facilities manager, that's Epi. We have a greenskeeper, that's Marco. And you see under the facilities manager, we have the greenskeeper, general maintenance, the pool techs, and various contracts, including mowing, pest control, and construction. Next slide. So this is a listing of the staff that we have. So administrative manager, you see Bianca there. Housekeeping, you see Louisa and her 3 housekeepers. Pro shop supervisor is Iris. Front desk clerks. And I lost 1 gate attendant last week on Thursday. Luis Farral gave us his resignation as he went on to have his own business as a car washer, one of those power mobile car wash guys. So I'm looking for a new gate attendant. Next slide. Facilities manager is Epifanio, or Epi as we all know him. He has greenskeeper. He's got general maintenance techs, swimming pool techs, and then the finance manager, as I said. We have 2 people. Mariella is currently recovering from having a baby. So, thank you. And last slide. Contracts manage. This is a list of the contracts: restaurant, mowing, pest control, IT, Spectrum, construction and repair for common areas and security. And I think that's it, right? One more, okay, let's try that. Oh, future projects, of course. Things that we're looking at in the future: coordinate with the Laguna Madre Water District for the infrastructure project. Tennis court light poles, which you saw, tennis court chain link fence replacement, which we'll be investigating. Street signs to try to get them uniform throughout the community. Improvements to landscaping. To that degree, I want to mention Romeo Rodriguez, who, as you come in, if you look off to the right side, you'll see a brand new shiny silver repainted anchor. He did that himself, so thanks to him for doing that. Maintenance and repair of all the common areas, work order system. We're working on revamping that so that we have a completion notification. So if you put in a work order, you'll get an answer for when it's done. So we don't have it yet, but we're going to get there. Inventory of equipment, assets on hand, as I mentioned, and the designated emergency supply stock. So as we do the emergency plans, in particular hurricane planning, we'll have an emergency supply on hand. So that concludes my presentation for this year. Do I have any questions?